I don't know. One thing I would say about Lifesteal is that I feel like it's a wasted pick if you pick him this early on before jfshfh have picked up any of their cores, because there's a good chance that they're going to pick up possibly pick up a spellcasting core. You pick the Lifesteal and they're no longer going to do that. I feel like there's other players you can pick before Lifesteal. I just, or every time I see Lifesteal as like an earlier pick in the draft when you haven't seen any cores yet. Because just if anybody takes like a Leshrac or a Zeus or something crazy like that, you do see it. Skyearth even. Then if you just whack out the Lifestealer afterwards, then it feels so much better as a pick. But then again, you also get now the chance to counter pick in your mid lane and your off lane as well. So.
And you're also not showing whether the Batrider's the 3 or the 4 as well, right? So like the Lifestealer is an okay hero. Like it's always okay, right? It doesn't matter what the game is. Like the heroes are also going to be like decent. But Slardar's picked up now. It makes this game really difficult. Not really difficult, but pretty hard. But at least they have the Lich Shield to try and stop some of the physical damage coming through. But Slardar's one of these heroes at the moment that's been picked up a lot against the Lifestealer. It's like a direct counter almost. Yeah. When he rages, you pop the Corrosive Haze on him and you can just chew through him so easily.
I really like the Slardar into Lifestealer. Like, Lifestealer is just a hero which wants to sit on the front lines, and is this just a direct no? You cannot.
I'm thinking for EXTREMUM though, they need to pick some like I was going to say some guy that just shoves out lanes. It's a bit tanky. Like this Timbersaur's okay, so they still don't show whether the Batrider's core or support. I imagine it would be a support hero at this point, but they don't have great lockdown for Timber at the moment, so I think that needs to be solved here in this next pick. At least they have the Corrosive Haze though for the Timber as well, so like we're trying to reduce his armor a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, this Timbersaur did not have a good lane earlier on today, but hopefully he didn't have a good game. He didn't do anything earlier on today, but hopefully we'll see a bit more from him this time around. So,
I think it was Sadoy last time, wasn't it, playing the Timber?
Yes, it was.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So they've kind of picked their 3-4-5 here. What? Oh, I was going to say my two would either have been the Drow or the Razor there. I think Drow's probably not that great because they have like the run at you potential a bit more. So this Razor makes Lifestealer's game very, very hard. Now they've now got two heroes that kind of destroy the Lifestealer a little bit here. I would not want to be playing that hero this game. They need some like mid hero on EXTREMUM that is going to counterpick everything here. Now I'm looking at these like win condition heroes like the Meepo and such, for example, but we'll have to see what they go.
So final picks coming up, and they ban out the Huskar, which I think makes a lot of sense. For EXTREMUM. But yeah, I mean, is Timbersaur that good as a frontliner into Slardar? Like I know Slardar's a strength hero, so it always feels nice to get that Welling Death off on him, but he's got two sorts of lockdown, which is really nice for just cancelling out the Timber Chain. He's got the anti-armor, which is going to make reactive armor feel a little bit less potent, but
I think they also wanted a hero that could lane with the Batrider that's a little bit less greedy, but doesn't need a huge amount of help. Because Batrider kind of wants to do his own thing a little bit, pull some creep waves away, maybe stack the jungle a little bit. What are they going to go for? Yeah, okay. They go SF. Now they have lots of minus armor, and I really like their lineup. I think it looks really solid.
They managed to get themselves into a hell of a strategy here with the anti-armor from the Shadow Fiend and Slardar comboing up with the Razor in the front lines and the Oracle saving their asses, and then just Enchantress. Just because who doesn't need a little bit of extra blasting coming in, and the purges for the Lich and Batrider. It feels good, man. It feels really good for them.
The thing about this Razor Slardar is as well that no matter where the Timber goes, he's probably not going to have that fun of a time. Like he'll do okay against the Slardar, but he won't have fun against the Razor, and Lifestealer won't have fun against the Razor either. So no matter where the Razor's put in the laning stage, he should have a really good time. And geez, there's a Visage pick as well, but do they care? Like, doesn't Pikachu just absolutely destroy that lane?
Visage. Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if this is enough. Not at all.
It's kind of matching them, if you like. They're just going for something which is going to be really in their faces. So someone which wants to kind of be the brick wall, meet them at their pace. G is an excellent Visage as well, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to win the lane, that's for sure. Pikachu should have a free time at mid, honestly speaking. It's these high armor heroes, and like they got a ton of AoE to deal with, the little birdies as well. I'm worried.
I think this Slaughter SF just rips through them.
Yeah.
Like all 3 cores. I mean, if Visage ever gets caught by anybody, like the Corrosive Haze with the SF Aura as well, they have so much minus armor. I don't think any of these Extremum heroes like enjoy that at all. Maybe Timber does the best if he can get a Lotus or something, but like I don't know.
My biggest concern as well is that even though like the Oracle and Enchantress, they're not like super active, they don't have stuns, and that is something which jfsh are really lacking right now, is stuns. But if you can get around that with the Slada, then you have yourself a pretty potent lineup, and their laning phase looks good. It's not aggressive, it's not going to get you kills, you're not going to win it really hard, but you're certainly not going to lose it, I don't think. So just from that perspective, coming out at a neutral setting at 10 minutes, then I think jfsh are going to have a really, really strong chance of just running Extremum over. But, there is always the possibility. You have Timbersaw and Visage. Either of these 2 heroes could kick off and be a real pain in jfsh's side. And if they have to spend the time taking down those heroes and not pushing for objectives and not taking control of that game, then that could give Lifesteal a chance to come back into it and make himself known. I think I'm pretty heavily leaning towards jfsh, but I think there's also a possibility for Extremum to pull out a victory if they play really tight here.
I think this Batrider has to do some really heavy lifting in the laning stage. I think he has to kind of do loads of crazy things, kind of mess around with them a little bit, because it's an okay Batrider game in the laning stage. When Oracle gets level 6, it's a bit harder, and I think these laning matchups are going to be really important as well. So we'll have to see who goes where. Looks like the Razor's going bot and the Timber's going there as well. So for the Dire side, that's probably the best thing they could have asked for.
Alrighty, let's get into it. Could be the last game of the day. Could have 2 more under the belts, but we are putting our money on 178. And if you want to put your money on team, then you should do so at if you should do so if you want to, if you're of legal gambling age and are responsible and doing it for fun and not for earnings, then you should head over to omg.bet, where you can get yourself a $10 free bet, risk-free bet, pretty sweet. And links in the description below and sometimes in the chat. So, Happy hanging out in this bottom lane. He's got the Razor with him as well. Archangel asking for a high five whilst he murders you.
Oh, there's some napalms coming out here as well.
There are, and this isn't one of the heroes with a purge available. The Oracle is not here, so Bignum is just going to get run down by Velhor and by Kellen. Tries to pop the Fairy Fire there in the hopes that they might just turn away. But unfortunately, Bignum does get run down all the same. That's going to be a first blood going the way of the Batrider, which is a great start to a game. And we said he needs to have a good game, and that's definitely the best way to kick it off.
Yeah, they need to not focus on their, they need to do... When they come out the laning stage, they need to be making moves with this Visage. I think that's the best chance they have of just, doing well this game, right? On the Dire side, he has to kind of just say, okay, this lane isn't for me. I'm not going to get a huge amount. SF is so confident in this game, he hasn't even taken Souls level 1. He hasn't taken Razors, at level 1. He's taken Souls. Because he's laning against Visage, he thinks he can, bully him enough to get some stacks up. Which I'm not sure is the right play, by the way. I'm pretty sure Razors at level 1 has been such a standard thing recently.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this one out myself, and I think it's just because Visage has such a weak laning presence that Shadowfiend feels like he can get away with this one, and maybe just start to snowball through the laning phase really early on here. But
can you not just punish him even harder with Razors though? In my eyes, you long range the Visage, and then you just play it so that he can never come near you.
Yeah, especially because Visages always go for the slow at level 1. I forget what it's called, but you always go for that slow. And obviously, that's going to take away your attack speed as well, so that makes things a little bit harder. I honestly can't fathom why he's gone for Necromastery, and he's suffering right now for it. But, a couple of denies under his belt going to help him get a little bit of Rust Click. Now he's got the level 2, so it should be much easier for him. He should be a little bit careful here as he starts taking the right clicks.
Oh, Razor.
Yeah, he's down a little bit. I suppose I'm making a lane swap here, but they can purge off those napalms if they need to. So Salve got to come in from Happy as well. Keep him nice and peachy.
As soon as this Razor, the Batrider, sorry, gets level 2, though, that lane's really difficult for the Razor. Like, all of a sudden, you get the Flame Break on top of the Napalm, and he can just start stacking things up. Oh no, they match the support trade.
Yep, and now you feel silly about TPing down. Vela actually coming up top as well to lane into Chappie.
Yeah, they don't want to put the Batrider against the Oracle. That's their thing.
Yeah.
They want to just make sure they can let him have a bit more of a game. Because they did pick it as a counter to the Ench as well, right? So that's the lane matchup you really... this SF is absolutely... Well, not destroying mid. That's not the right word, but... Oh my god.
And he's going to be in some trouble right now as G's on top of him with the double damage rune. Needs a little bit more in there, and Pikachu getting away. G wants to chase, but knows that it might be dangerous for him to do so. Though Pikachu comes forward, and he's got the Gravekeepers onto him, keeping on going here, trying to make it through the trees. Pikachu tries to go for the raises, only gets one off, and could still be in some trouble here. The raise comes through, but it's not enough, and Pikachu will die. It's a laborious kill for G, but he does get it in the end.
Why didn't Pikachu just run away?
Scared.
Yeah, but
he's a fast boy on G.
I don't know, man. That was weird. He kind of like went round for the long race and stuff, and then just let himself away.
I think he wanted to stay in the lane. Like, yeah, he really, really wanted to stay in the lane. That mid lane greed there, yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now he loses some of his souls as well, which is a sad thing for the S.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh, dude, look at this. Ench just owning this creep stack with the tornado. Oh, look at that. Gets that one as well.
Nailing it. Meanwhile, Malik, he's having a good time. Happy, not really the best hero at trying to stop this Timbersaw from pulling. And actually, with Archangel coming in as well, he's going to be in some real trouble. Happy, well, he does purge off the Frost Shield, but it's not enough to keep him alive. They're going to be able to bring him down. There goes the Oracle.
Yeah, this Timber's going to get more than I thought he would. I forgot he'd just play behind the tower. There's not much the Oracle can do there, is there? Sladar's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he's got the salve. He's going to live for the time being, but pretty painful.
Oh, here comes the tornado again. Let's go.
Malik, look at this guy. He's having a great time. Mid. It's actually been such a long time. It's been so many games since we've seen a solo kill in the middle lane. But gee, you know, he comes from an era when that was more common. So
I think a lot of the mid, like whenever there's an SF in the game, I always think there's potential for a solo kill. Though, right? I guess that's just one of those heroes that always has high kill potential in these early levels because of the razors.
I mean, sometimes, but we haven't really been seeing it recently due to the fact that Shadow Fiends don't really care. They're just like, okay, I could try and spend all my mana to kill you, or I could just nuke down a creep wave after creep wave and then go to the jungle, you know?
It's very true. And he is still doing really well mid, but that first death, I think, has just allowed the Visage to spike up that little bit more in XP than he would have thought he would have had at the moment. So when this level 6 comes from the Visage, no matter how well the SF's done in lane, he has to be so scared still.
Pikachu going to be taking some hits here, but gee, oh, okay. Pikachu choking a little bit on the razors there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's only got the long-range raise available now, but might turn around and throw it onto G there just to keep it going. Meanwhile, Velhor in some trouble down in the river. Chappie's going to be able to bring him down. He's got the bash available. Pikachu, meanwhile, is okay in the middle lane. He's going to live for now.
This Timbersaw is really getting a lot down in the bot lane at the moment as well. Look, he's like level 5. They can't really do anything to him now. Like, these 3 points in the reactive armor just make it so difficult for them to like try and contest him at all.
Yeah, like even with the full duration on the static link, I'm fairly sure he's still fine. Like, he's just going to keep on timber chaining away, keep on whirling deathing around, keep a bit of pain in their asses.
You see, the picture's really trying to put the pressure on before Visage hits level 6 here, just to try and, you know, use his advantage as much as he can.
Yeah, putting the creeps back, that was really nice from G there, using the slow. Oh, what is his slow called on Visage?
That's Soul Assumption? Oh no, that's the W.
No, that's the W.
Grave...
No, the Gravekeeper's Cloak is his...
Chill?
Is it Grave Chill? Anyway, Chappie's dead up at top. Grave Chill sounds too snappy. And Bigham's going down as well. Yeah, these stacks really adding up. EXTREMUM, they got the lane matchup they wanted, and it seems to be paying off for them. Currently 5 kills to 1.
Love these tips, by the way. Amazing.
Yeah, burning up Bignum, then tipping him into the grave.
Oh, Lich.
Yeah, he's out of here. Palantimos as well, not looking too happy right now, but the Timber Chain's going to miss, so a small little lifeline for Palantimos, but Matt's going to find him, and now he's looking for another one as well. They got the kill into the Lich, but they trade with Palantimos, which is not a good sign for jfshfh as they lose someone else down here at bottom.
Chappie dies again, top lane as well. Wow, this top lane is not going as well as I thought it would. I mean, this Batrider is kind of just taking over. Without the Oracle in that lane, I honestly thought the supports would just walk again and just swap. Just so that this top lane had the purge against the Batrider. Because at the moment, this Ench just gets run at over and over again, and they can't do anything.
Yeah, the just going to burn up every single time. They're trying to go on to Malik here, but Malik with the Timber Train trying to bait it out with Palantimos here. But as I said, you know, it doesn't matter. They can get the full duration static link and they still don't have the damage. And I was completely right when I said that, as it turns out. Meanwhile, Pikachu could be in some trouble. Velhor's on top of him. G trying to chase him down as well. Doesn't have a point in that soul assumption yet. And Pikachu looks like he's going to be burnt up here as he gets caught out by the Lich. And Pikachu goes down in the middle lane. And jfshfh falling apart a little bit here in this laning phase. They need to keep it together and come out okay in the mid. But right now, they seem to be getting beaten across the map.
Like, imagine if the Ench was bot and he could just hit the Timber with impetuses over and over again.
Yep.
And then the Oracle's top.
It'll be beautiful. It'll be the dream case scenario. But unfortunately, Malik is going to trying to run down Palantimos again here. Meanwhile, Kellen actually dies in the top lane solo to Chappie. Excuse me?
Okay.
That's should not be happening.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Obviously, Slander's very good against Lifestealer because of the bash, but like, I don't know. That's not a play that I expect.
No. No, me neither. Alright, well, G currently walking around with one familiar. I would imagine because Shadow Fiend killed his other one, he's been trying really hard to raise those familiars down as best he can.
I love winning.
Well, if you love winning, Bignum, then should we step it up a bit? Come on, let's see what you've got.
Yeah, you're not acting like you love winning.
Yeah.
Not playing like you love winning. Happy just trying to play around, eating some trees. They're going to latch up onto Malik, but unfortunately he already got the Timber Chain off, so he says see you later. He was a scatter girl, listen, see you later, girl. Avril Lavigne was the best. Avril Lavigne was the best. GOAT. Well, she's died now and been replaced by a clone. Don't you know the rumors?
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't know that happened.
Have you not heard this rumor?
No, no.
Oh, it's really interesting. There's like this whole internet cult about how Avril Lavigne died and got replaced by a clone.
Wow,
And it's like,
okay.
yeah, they like compare pictures saying, oh, she had this mole in this picture and not in this picture and stuff like that. It's a rabbit hole and a half. And it's like, there's a point where you're like looking into it and you're trying to make your decision up for yourself, going like, maybe they're right. And then you're like, why am I at 3 a.m. in my underwear reading about Avril Lavigne being replaced by a clone for a conspiracy? Meanwhile, whilst I'm talking about random bullshit, the Timbersaur's just wrecking it at bottom lane. He takes down both those heroes. He's just out of control down there.
I think Bignum might be in a bit of trouble here.
I think so as well, but Pikachu trying to come in and save the day. They're mixing their targets up a little bit here, though. Pikachu going for Velhor. Meanwhile, the other one goes for the Lifestealer, and it looks like they're both going to get out okay. That's what happens when you split your targets, and Shadow Fiend can't get the kill there. Meanwhile, Chappie might have chased too far. Archangel's on top of him as well. He has got a lot of damage. The stun's going to be interrupted by Archangel. The rage comes out. Chappie going for the TP away, running out of HP, but just about makes it to base. Whew. Bit hot under the collar.
Proc or two there.
Yeah,
Might
would
have
have
been
been
able
nice.
to kill with the javelin. I think that's a Shadow Blade I see coming out on the SF as well, which I am really not a fan of.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I mean, the Silver Edge would be good this game if they can ever build up to it, but I don't know about that.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, that's a long way off. Long way off.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, G just trying to push down mid whilst the Shadow Fiend's away, but Shadow Fiend comes back and says, get out of here, pesky birds. Pooping on my car. Pooping on my catapult. And There comes Malik jumping into the back lines, but Pikachu, he's going to be the target for the time being. Can they bring him down though? Shadow Fiend being targeted. Archangel's also getting low, but they will bring down Pikachu. Malik comes sliding on through. They kill off the Lich in response, but now things looking bad though. Velva's getting low here. Palantimos and Bignum looking for a kill. They turn towards Malik, but Malik is scary. They're going to steal all of his damage, however, Happy on the run, and they'll get him with the chakram. And look at Malik, he's just living through this all right now. Maybe they can finish the job here as the Impetus chase him around, but he's surviving, and the reactive armor kicking in, healing him up. They can't finish the job. Malik lives! He lives through everything, and 4 heroes dead on the side of jfshfh178. EXTREMUM are just walking them.
I mean, this Batrider and Timber are doing so much damage. And I mean, I'm not even talking about the Visage at that point. Like, I don't know, they've controlled the laning stage so well, and now it's got to the point in the game where Visage can really come online. Like, Helm of Dom, like these constant soul assumptions coming out as well. I'm, I don't know what the Shadow Blade's going to do when the whole dire side just group up and go. Like, it's not a team fighting item, which I think they really need at this point. I mean, this laning stage was just such an absolute disaster for the Radiant side.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do we go from here?
I mean, that's a hood on the Timber as well, so I don't know how he's dying this game anymore. Unless it's like much later on to the physical damage.
Yeah. A full duration static link on the Timber Sword doesn't bring him down, along with the Impetus is just flying into his ass. Nothing's gonna, especially now that hood's up as well, it's just gonna make him even harder to kill off, so. EXTREMUM in a great position, feeling very happy about life. Oh dear, they've got the lasso out onto Pikachu. Happy trying to come in and save the day. He doesn't have an ulti to throw down onto him though, and Shadow Fiend's just going to go down. Both heroes dropping there. No chance of saving him. Shadow Fiend is dead. Where is Yoricle's level 6? It's 13 minutes into the game and he doesn't have it.
Yeah, this is... They're kind of just running at the Timber over and over again, right? Because they don't have heroes that can split push. So because they lost their laning stage so hard, they're just losing the map really quickly, and they can't push their lanes out quick enough. It's only really the SF that can do it. And so the Timber just is completely controlling the game. He's just running wherever he wants, and they can't touch him at all. And this is going to be 5 towers gone in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, there is absolutely no chill. Meanwhile, the whole time, Kellen's just been farming up a storm. He's got himself his phase boots, Maelstrom, heading towards that Sanj at really alarming speed here. He is doing fantastically. jfshfh might just be crumbling. Are they going up the high ground here, EXTREMUM?
I mean, why not, right? Like, they know the Radiant side can't fight them at all. Might as well just go for it.
And they go onto the backlines. Bignum nearly gets taken down just by the Timbersaw Chakram coming forwards. Now turning it around. They're looking forward here. They're looking for Palantimos. Palantimos TP's in, but lose half his health immediately with the Chain Frost bouncing around. He's going to die. The Chappie is well being hunted down. They're in their base and they are murdering them. 14 minutes into the game. The respawn timers are quite short. Jesus. EXTREMUM though, they might be getting themselves out big to go for the ultimate, but no, in comes the Familiars. They have the vision down. Down goes the Shadow Fiend. Pikachu taken out instantly. jfshfh, so what do you do here? Chappie's coming into the front lines trying to make something happen, but getting torn apart by Kellen. And they're going to dive in for more. Hello, Bignum, come here, you tasty little deer. We are going to take you apart. And there comes your GG. But pre-15-minute GG from EXTREMUM. These guys... they want to go watch True Sight.
I mean, that was interesting. I love that Shadow Blade reveal at the end, by the way, as well. They had a sentry that just walked in and tried to ult. I was like, oh, I don't think that's going to work. Never mind. Go game 3.
You can, yeah, you can talk a lot about this game, or you could tell you absolutely nothing. I think both would tell you the same amount of information, to be honest.
This Batrider was 6-1 and 11. And
yeah.
He just did so much in that lane top. Like, this is what I mean. I feel like Batrider's a really underutilized hero. Obviously, there are counters to him, but if you don't get the right ones in the laning stage, as you've seen this game, it can be really horrible to play against.
Oh, man, that was real rough for jfshfh there. And they're going to come into this third game having gotten absolutely body slammed by EXTREMUM. Oh man, and G 4-0, Malik 9-0, Batrider, as you say, 6-1. you said he needed to do a lot, and he certainly delivered on that promise. Velhor absolutely tearing up game number 1 in this best of 3 series. And they also have 2 Iron Branches on their on both Lifestealer and Lich, by the way, so they must have stolen one at some point as well. I don't really know how they got that, but maybe they invaded the base or something. I don't know.
I'll tell you how they got that. They kind of just ran over them the whole game.
Yeah.
Steal whatever they want. Steal their hearts, their souls.
Yep. All right. Gonna take a quick break and then we'll be back with game number 3, so we'll see you very shortly for that.